tomorrow night. This huge critical showdown in the Mountain West, San Diego State and Nevada tomorrow at 8. Pregame coverage outside Viejas at 7. Right here on San Diego Sports 760. And we're joined by longtime Aztec assistant Dave Velasquez right now. John and Jim, Coach, we always appreciate it. What's the primary takeaway? Before we look ahead to Wednesday night, tomorrow night, what's your takeaway coming out of the game at the Pit on Saturday?
Well, one, credit New Mexico for how well they played, especially the last 25 minutes of the game. I mean, we just made too many self-inflicting mistakes. I mean, we could not rebound the ball, but their ability to protect the rim, I mean, 14 block shots. I mean, those are going to be hard games for us to win. But, you know, we got to rebound the ball better. We have to have much more flow offensively. I mean, if you want to pinpoint one thing that we've lost all 3 road games of BYU, Grand Canyon, and New Mexico, it's just our offensive flow has just got to get better. And it's unfortunately it's hurt us in some hard road games, and we got to learn from those mistakes, and we got to get better because the Mount West season is just beginning, and those road games, they don't get any easier, and we all know that. But the Pit's a special place to play in, and that place was rocking. And but they credit New Mexico; they played really well, and we'll learn from that game.
Yeah, and you know the environment was crazy. I think everybody there was expecting New Mexico or wanting New Mexico to do this. And at one point in the game, Coach, you guys were up 12 in the first half. What changed at that moment to have New Mexico go on that run, and how did it affect the rest of the game?
Turnovers and missed shots. I think we went 1 for 7 with 6 turnovers to finish the half. I mean, the run that they went on and that building. I mean, I used to say DJ Gay was one shooting free throws, and I used to say it was the loudest I've ever heard a building in my entire life at a sporting event. When he was shooting the free throws at the end of a game, it felt like the building was shaking and your ears were ringing. When Jalen House hit the offensive rebound 3 in the first half, I think might have given their first lead towards the end. I thought that was the loudest I've ever heard the Pit. So again, it was a little bit of a snowball deal, but with all that being said, I mean, there's 12-minute media timeout. We're right there. But they just kept making play after play after play, and we had no rhythm, like I said, on offense. And, again, hard to win in the Pit, really is. I mean, we're lucky to be the number 1 team that San Diego State's the team that's won in there more than any other program in the country. But, that wasn't our night that night. It was their night. And like I said, we'll learn from it. We'll get better. And very excited about our game tomorrow. Very excited to be at home in Viejas because we've done that to a lot of teams in my time at San Diego State over the past 20-something years.
Yeah, no question about it, including really in the last couple of home games where you jump on a team early, and not to say you win the game in the first 5 minutes, but when you build 18-3 leads like you did against UNLV within the last week or two, it's tough to overcome that type of deficit here against SDSU. Dave Velasquez joining us right now on John and Jim. Again, the Aztecs in Nevada is tomorrow. So, Coach, you have the perspective of having seen this conference for, the entirety of it, essentially. When you look at it top to bottom right now, is this as good as it's been during any iteration of the league?
It's hard to always compare year after year because there's just some teams that there's some years that there's just some incredible teams, mm-hmm. right? Like our 30-2 team was just, unbelievable. Or, the year with the Kawhi team or let's even give credit to some other programs. I mean, the year with New Mexico, I can't believe they lost in the first round with the Bairstow, Kendall Williams,
right.
Tony Snell, and Kirk. I mean, they legitimately had 3 NBA guys on one Mount West team. So, and there's a ton of others that I could name over the years. I mean, UNLV's had some just superstar teams. So it's hard to say what year. But if you had to say the depth, the overall just depth of a conference that we can remember in the Mount West, I would say this is probably as deep as any other year. It's hard to win any game. And every years are always hard. And, I'm pretty sure you could probably, you can just take last year's interview at this time, John. I probably might have said the same thing, but we've been good for a long time. Mount West has got multiple bid leagues for a long, long time. But no, I think this year, and the teams are really old. The Nevada team we're playing tomorrow is the 4th oldest team, I believe, in the country. And so, you have a team like that. Boise's got a lot of experience. Obviously, Colorado State's one of the older teams in the country. New Mexico, obviously, they have a lot of older pieces. So, there's a lot. It's a very mature, older group, and everybody knows that that's the way to win in college basketball. And the Mount West is you can just look across. I mean, we've been a hard beat for anybody in the non-conference, and now any game you go into this year, it's going to be a hard game to win. Like I had said, and Nevada is going to bring on a lot of challenges tomorrow, especially with their top two guys, Jared Lucas and Blackshear. I mean, those guys are as hard to guard as anyone in our league, and Nick Davidson's a young big who's playing out really, really well. He's playing some outstanding basketball right now. So we'll be ready, though. We'll be an exciting game tomorrow in Viejas.
Coach, looking back at the New Mexico game still, 14 blocks they had against you guys. Was the size a factor? Like, was that something that you haven't faced this year that kind of threw you off a little bit? And how they guarded Jaden Ledee, it seemed like, triple teams, double teams. Is that something that you guys can use in the future to hopefully, learn from the next time you play them and the rest of conference play?
Yeah, I do. I think there's a lot to learn from. I think there are some things they did that were a little unique. I thought there was a lot of times that, there's some times where, we got in there. I don't know if you guys remember the play. Lamont Butler drove the ball. He got to 2 feet. He dropped it off, and Jaden actually was able to dunk the ball. And 3 guys were up in the air when Lamont went and just jump stopped. I think you got to get in there. You got to play off 2 feet. You got to test their discipline to block shots. I just feel like, we went up to finish on the first shot too much. You need to get up there. You got to learn to shot pick. At some point, they're going to be jumping. I mean, 14 block shots. I mean, at some point you got to learn and stop doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And, but again, credit to them. Their timing on some of those blocks were incredible. I thought our guys went up with great force, but at some point you kind of got to play with them a little bit and, play off 2 feet and kind of hopefully they play like pogo sticks and they're jumping while you're still on the ground and then you can go right back up. And so, they did some really good things too on Jaden. I thought they really were able to swarm the ball and, they made it hard for him to even get the ball above his waist, which was a little unique that we haven't seen a lot of. And now, some teams I'm sure are going to think the book is out on us or out on Jaden, and we're going to have to adjust. And I know we will. And that's one of the things that, I think there's one thing that's for sure about a Coach Dutcher-led program is it gets better throughout the season. And we're not expecting anything different this season with this group that we have now.
Big game tomorrow night. They're all big, truth be told. San Diego State and Nevada. Then they head out to Boise for a game on Saturday. So a critical game at home. Aztecs and Wolfpack tomorrow at 8. Pregame coverage at 7. In the loss, Coach, you saw Darion Trammell go for 1,500 career points. There was a really interesting note from your media team saying that there are 2 players in the country at his size or shorter that have scored 1,500 career points. It's him and Jalen Cone at Cal, who we saw earlier this year. What can you say about not just the point scoring from Trammell over the last 2 years, but what he has meant to this program since coming in from Seattle?
He's been, well, first of all, he's done things that nobody else has ever done. And that's, he hit a free throw. He was South Regional MVP to take San Diego State to what at one point was just a dream. And that was to the Final Four. And, he's came in and he's done so many great things for this program, not just from the scoring. I mean, he's had to play with the Mont. He's had to play in a kind of a new role for him, off the ball a lot more than he was used to in his old spots. But what he's been able to do defensively, he guards 94 feet. He had to play in a program that switches a lot of ball screens, and he's been able to kind of find his own little niche within that, and guys have been able to adjust to how he plays. And it's been fun to coach him. It's been awesome. I mean, obviously we've had massive success with him being a part of our team, and we continue to have a lot of success, and we want to have even more success. So Darion's been awesome. He comes from an unbelievable family, unbelievable support system. He's a great human being. He's going to get his master's. He's going to graduate. He's going to graduate with a business degree here when he finishes up this next semester. So just a stud human being and an awesome basketball player.
And to hit the second free throw, I would have had my second free throw would have been an air ball. My only shot would have been the first. I mean, all the pressure in the world is on the second free throw.
I don't even hit the rim, like not even close.
Yeah, it was really incredible. Dave, we appreciate it. We're looking forward to tomorrow night. Thanks for hopping on.
Oh, appreciate you guys having me, and go Aztecs.
All right.